Hey, Divine Feminine. There's something that's been weighing on my mind, something I've been holding in, and I think it's finally time to share it with you. Last night, as I lay awake in the quiet of the night, I found myself drifting into thoughts of you. But not just thoughts, deep, soul stirring reflections. I began comparing two parts of my life, two connections. One was you, the other was someone else, a third party. This comparison wasn't something I planned. It just happened. A thought led to a memory led to a feeling, and suddenly I found myself spiraling into a space where everything became clear. Sometimes clarity doesn't come with trumpets or fireworks. Sometimes it comes in the stillness, in the silence, like a whisper that shakes your entire being. That's what happened to me last night. And now, I need to talk to you about it. What I realized was simple on the surface, but soul deep in its meaning. The time I spent with you, Divine Feminine, was nothing like what I'm experiencing now with the third party. And though both situations may look similar from the outside, two people spending time together, sharing conversations, sharing space, the feeling, the energy, the essence of the connection is so vastly different it almost feels like night and day. With you, everything felt steady, solid, sacred. With them, everything feels unsure, shaky, unsettled. And the more I reflected, the more this truth pulled at me. I couldn't look away anymore. I couldn't ignore the fact that being around them constantly leaves me second guessing myself. I'm filled with doubts. Am I enough? Do I belong here? Am I doing too much? Or not enough? It's a constant emotional push and pull. I find myself shrinking, losing touch with who I am. And worst of all, I keep trying to fit into a mold that was never made for me. But when I think back to you, it's the opposite. You never made me feel like I had to prove myself. You never made me feel like I was inadequate or like I needed to change to earn a spot in your life. With you, I was just enough, just as I was. You gave me a kind of peace that I'm now realizing was rare, a peace I may have taken for granted. That's one of the hardest truths to face, realizing you didn't fully value something until it was gone, until it was too far out of reach to hold again. You see, Divine Feminine, I never had to question my place with you. I never had to fight for validation or feel like I was on shaky ground. With you, I felt seen. Not just looked at, but truly seen, soul to soul. You knew how to look into my eyes and read the things I couldn't say out loud. You felt my silence. You heard my unspoken words. You made space for me to simply be. That kind of connection is sacred. And now that I'm experiencing something so different, I finally understand just how rare and beautiful what we had really was. Last night, it was like a light bulb turned on in my soul. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't quiet the thoughts in my head. All I could do was compare, not out of judgment, not out of spite, but out of a need to understand myself better. A need to get to the root of why I've been feeling so off lately. Why I've been walking around with this strange ache in my chest that nothing seems to fix. And the answer was you. Or rather, the absence of you. You see, Divine Feminine, this isn't about one person being better than another. This isn't about casting blame or putting anyone down. It's about energy, vibration, soul resonance. It's about how certain connections feel like coming home, while others feel like wandering through someone else's house, never quite knowing where you belong. Being with this third party has made me realize just how lost I feel without your energy in my life. It's made me see how much I miss the simplicity and depth of what we had, and how no matter how much I try to replicate that feeling with someone else, it just doesn't work. Because it's not about the what, it's about the who. You were the one who grounded me, who held space for me, who challenged me to grow without tearing me down, who made love feel like a sacred act, not a transaction. With you, I didn't have to earn my worth. I just had to show up. But lately, I've been stuck in cycles of self-doubt. I feel like I'm wearing a mask just to be accepted, and every time I take it off, I'm met with confusion or distance. That's not love. That's performance. And I'm tired of performing. I'm starting to realize that true connection doesn't ask you to perform. It invites you to reveal, to unfold, to bloom, no matter how messy or imperfect the process is. That's what you did for me. You let me bloom. And I'm so sorry that I didn't recognize that fully until now. This comparison was never meant to hurt. It wasn't meant to shame or guilt or stir up pain. It was a mirror, a reflection. And sometimes the truth we see in that mirror shakes us so deeply that we can't help but speak it out loud. So here I am, speaking it to you. You were never the problem. In fact, you were the calm in the chaos, the clarity in the confusion, the anchor in my storm. And somehow, I walked away from that. Or maybe I just let the noise of the world convince me that I needed something else. But now I know better. Now I see that not all connections are created equal. And some, like ours, are timeless. I've been doing a lot of soul searching, divine feminine. And I've come to understand that no matter how much I try to replace your energy, I can't. Because your energy is not something that can be copied. It is one of a kind. It is divine. It is you. Even your silence speaks volumes. Even your absence echoes louder than any words spoken by others. And that says something, doesn't it? It says you matter. You matter more than I allowed myself to admit. You see, I thought moving on meant replacing. I thought healing meant forgetting. But what I'm learning is that true healing comes from acknowledging, from honoring, from accepting what was, and what still lives within me. And the truth is, you still live within me. Your voice, your laugh, your wisdom, your softness, your fire. It's all still there, woven into the threads of my being. This third party may have my presence. But you have my essence. And that's something no time, no distance, no circumstance can change. I don't know what the future holds. I don't know if we're meant to find our way back to each other in this lifetime. I don't know if I'll ever get the chance to sit across from you again, hold your hands in mine, and speak this truth into the space between us. But what I do know is that I had to say this. You deserve to hear this. Because you were the light I didn't know I needed. The mirror I tried to avoid. The lesson I had to learn through loss. And now that I see it all so clearly, I just hope that wherever you are, you feel the love I'm sending your way. I hope you know that you made an impact, that you awakened parts of me that no one else could. I may not be with you now, divine feminine, but I carry you in every step I take. And no matter where life leads me, your energy will always be a compass that points me back to my truth. So thank you. Thank you for loving me in a way that was pure, honest, and real. Thank you for being a light I'll never forget. And thank you for being you. With all my heart, the divine masculine